And so we're looking forward to a better half of 2025. So if you had, written down goals that you wanted to achieve, you couldn't achieve them in the very first half. Look, the second half is always there for you to make up for what you couldn't do in the first half. Well, I'm rambling on and I haven't done what I ought to do. Can I just say a very, very beautiful morning to us? A warm welcome to Creative Nigeria, the show right now airing here on mainland 98.3 FM. Creative Nigeria comes your way every Thursday morning between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. And of course, you can see it's already 2 minutes now gone past 10 a.m. So welcome to Creative Nigeria. I am Bumi Bade Adeniji, also known as Priceless. But I do the show alongside Frank Meke, who is, our CEO and also the legend in the business, I tell you, of tourism and travel and all things related. However, he's not in the house this morning, but he may not be here physically, but he's always here in spirit, and you will be hearing his voice because we will be getting in touch with him via the phone lines right after I'm done with the intro. But also alongside myself in the studio this morning is a Blessing. Good morning to you, Blessing. Blessing segment will be coming up, as we go on in the show. So good morning, Blessing.
Well, thank you very much for the love. Good morning to you, Madam Bumi.
Good morning. Good morning, especially to you if you are a first-time listener. If you are listening to us for the very first time, we want to say welcome, welcome. This is Creative Nigeria once again, and there is so much that you can learn, gain, be entertained by, be entertained with on this show. So please do not touch your dial. Don't even think about it because the next 1 hour will be time well invested on radio. Right. Those who think that recreation is exclusively for the rich should think twice, as loneliness has been linked to about 871 deaths every year around the world. A report by the World Health Organization revealed that social isolation on persons and communities is the new cancer, responsible for over 100 deaths. Now, hear this, every hour all over the world. So we advise our listeners to please find rest outside your homes, attend estate meetings, dance parties, and worship sessions with others, and please sacrifice to make others happy and to live long. We have only this one life to live. Please, henceforth, let's quit vain lives. Let's reach out to others and let's bring about sunshine into the lives of the people and communities where you reside. Meanwhile, Lagos Commissioner for Culture, Tourism and Arts, Mrs. Tᴏᴜᴛᴛᴇʀ says a harmonized policy between real estate and tourism sectors will drive investment across board. She spoke at the annual conference of female lawyers in real estate practice here in Lagos, noting that her ministry is determined to strengthen the compliance ecosystem strategic to sectorial integration to help unlock full bankable visibilities of real estate, cultural tourism, and hospitality trade economies in Lagos State. Last year, Lagos State invested about 8.4 billion naira to give wings to tourism projects and industry players. Our advisor to Governor Sanwo-Olu on housing in the very first 4 years of his administration. Our program rollout today will start out in particular order with Nigeria, with creative economy, with Dr. Lizzie Benny Henacho, movies on radio with Julie Moss, and we will also wake up to the powers of culture and our new segment sponsored by Sehems Travels. We'll be keeping you updated on industry trends. Justin Ovat will be coming through with hospitality nuggets, and Anchor Insurance returns with more refreshing insurance offerings. We shall be hooking up via the phone lines with Frank Meke all the way in Akure for the NATOP AGM, and we'll be wrapping up this outing with our music segment with Bongo Ayakata by Owigiri Master Chimwanya. Good morning to you all and happy new month. Welcome to Creative Nigeria.
From Nigeria's heart, a cultural decree. The National Troupe of Nigeria, a performing arts legacy representing the nation, showcasing our pride.
The federal government's artistic emissary, bringing Nigeria's vibrant culture to the fore. A tapestry of traditions, a convergence of art. The National Troupe of Nigeria, captivating every heart.
Dancers embody the rhythm of our land. Their movements are story. Their bodies command. Musicians with melodies, enchanting and grand. Drama unfolds, emotions take a stand.
For children, a realm of wonder and delight. Puppets, masked stories take flight. The National Troupe, igniting imaginations bright, nurturing young minds, shining a guiding light.
From Nigeria's soul, a cultural embrace, National Troupe of Nigeria, showcasing our rich, versatile, and diverse cultures through dance, music, drama. Our heritage we express.
The National Troupe of Nigeria, Nigeria's cultural ambassador.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Creative Nigeria here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Bumi is here and we are gearing up to speak with Frank, who is on the phone right now. Good morning, Frank.
Well, good morning. I hope it's raining in Lagos.
It's not raining yet, but yes, is it raining in Akure?
Well, no, not really. I had a little shower early hours of this morning.
Okay.
So it's a little bit cold there. So you don't need AC around here, and of course the vegetation. But you know, today is the conference and AGM, non-elective AGM of the Nigerian Cʀᴜᴜ Association.
Yeah.
And last night we had quite a turnout. I think we have about 150 of them here from all over the country, from Abuja, from Lagos, and other parts of the country, far as Jos. Because the general manager, Jos Tourism, the young man I know very many years ago, is the general manager. If I walked up to me last night and said, "I do still remember me." So it's a full house, and I'm so happy because the association is getting traction. We have the secretaries to the state government yesterday representing the governor at that welcome party. Yeah. So it was a light out, and it was quite one beautiful dressed ladies. I don't know why so much ladies are into operation, really. I don't understand. I used to say it's the guys, So, but the ladies here, sorry, me, I have a lot of sisters. Very briefly dressed out.
Yeah.
And the president of FTAN is there. The DG Nahuto, Dr. Are Fagadi is here. He just left now. To the venue because the conference proper is starting this morning. Later, they're going to have their AGM proper. So it's a full house here. Who again will be all there, but I just want to report that the roads actually kit.
Yeah. Hello? Oh, dear. Hello, Frank? Just a bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to surmount it. Please stay tuned. We're having a conversation with Frank, who is...
Time we went to Ilani was so bad and terrible because so we just want to report. I know next time, so I'm going to be very fast about this.
Yeah.
So the road network in the southwest is terrible. And we want to call the attention of the president to do something about it, honestly. People can't move around, and in the interconnecting local roads are not really taken care of. So we wonder, without road infrastructure, how can tourism thrive?
Exactly. Wow. Okay. Well, we will try to re-establish that connection.
Okay. So it's
we're having a bit of difficulty. Yeah.
And,
okay. So this is what we're going to do because we're having a little bit of difficulty. We will try to re-establish that call because we need to hear that update from Frank all the way in Akure. NATOP is about gearing up for their AGM and its importance that we hear from him this morning. So please stay tuned. Don't be discouraged. We are re-establishing connection with Frank Meke all the way in Akure. All right, is he back? Okay, I believe he's back. Welcome back, Frank. This network has just been... Yes.
Yes, yes. So, for me, the road infrastructure in the entire Southwest needs to be fixed. And this is one of those, this area, geographical area, actually are actually ready for tourism. Because we don't need to go and teach them what to do. They are very hospitable. Yeah. And they have the tourism side, they have the tourism culture. Let me put it that way. Okay, so, but the road network is not just there. It's so bad. But your road, last time I went to Tᴏᴜ, from Ibadan down to Ife, was a death trap. And I wonder, even when inside even the Ojogo right down there in Ife, you wonder, just close to the palace, there's no access road. And you don't want to have to witness the Army officer when we can't access the roads. Okay, so these are critical things that government needs to look at. And I wonder, all the roads are building everywhere. I wonder what David Omeha is doing. This place should be looking. Yeah. And our road infrastructure is very bad. The last time I traveled to on the road, same thing. So we leave it there for me. And I tell you, it's one conference, an AGM, that a lot of things are going to turn out for, because they're here to promote, not just to come and talk and judge. They're here to promote on those states. Okay? And those rich. Yes. I just had a little bit of boiled yam this morning. Actually, I rightly found it. So I'll tell you about it, what I had in the afternoon, what I have in the afternoon, I'll let you know. Okay. But this is the home for Pandaya. If it needs to claim to be, just like the love rice war. So which actually is the location or destination that can claim to be home for Pandaya. And I think although should be, but I don't know what the people will say. So I'll leave it with that for me this morning. Is there any other thing you want us to chat about?
We just want to wish you a great time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All the way in Ondo State, Akure.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. And my regards to Mo, she's from here, so I see if I can buy yam and give to her.
Oh, she's all smiles right now. That will be so. You will make her day if you do that.
All right.
Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning, Frank. Bye-bye. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. We've been talking with Frank Meke. He is representing us, Creative Nigeria, over there at NATOP AGM taking place in Akure. We'll take a break, and after that, when we come back, we go straight to talk to Anchor Insurance representatives. So stay with us.
Anchor Insurance, we will always turn up for our clients when it really matters. We put in 100% because they mean the world to us. If you desire insurance services built around you, where claims are paid promptly, then come to Anchor Insurance.
You are the best. You are the very, very best. Oh, yeah. You make our world go round. And this is where we'll always be our anchor.
Anchor Insurance, where insurance truly works.
Welcome back. Anchor Insurance is up next, and we will be speaking this morning to Tunde. Is Tunde on the line? Good morning to you, Tunde.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the show. So we started a conversation last week and on insurance bond. We would like to continue that conversation today. So I hope you're ready for us.
Yes.
Okay. Let's just do a quick recap because you were able to define for us what an insurance bond is, and you also let us know who the parties involved in such a bond are. But for the benefit of those who are listening to the show for the first time, or they missed out on that segment last week, could we just quickly have a recap of that? What's an insurance bond and who are the parties involved?
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity again. I remain Tunde Olaji. So,
Okay.
insurance bond, like we said last week, also known as a suretyship. This is a kind of guarantees that this kind of a suretyship.
Yeah.
We said the principal, said the insured, and the insurance company. The principal is the person or the entity that gave a kind of a contract to the insured. That is, who is going to be the contractor, the supplier, or what have you, to perform a particular duty or obligation. And the surety, which is the insurance company, is the person or the entity coming in place that in case there is a default, we are going to stand in the shoe of the contractor to pay the liability or the kind of a claim that might arise from such suretyship. So those are the parties involved in suretyship.
Wonderful. So there's one more thing, that just boggles the mind, with regards to suretyship and now what are the types of bonds that we have? Because I know that contractor is a generic term, principal is generic, but what are the types of bonds that exist?
Okay, thank you very much. So we have advance payment bond. You can call it advance payment guarantee, performance bond, performance guarantee. We are using bond now so that we will be able to get the context of which we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
So we have credit bond, we have custom bond, we have security bond, we have bid bond, we have bail bond. I think bail bond, some people might actually be conversant with bail bond, especially when it comes to criminal and court matters.
Yeah.
However, bid bond is mostly the genesis of all these bonds. Before you get any contract, in the ideal society, you are expected to bid for that contract, and that is where bid bond comes to play. Now, when you bid, when you get that contract or you are awarded the contract by the principal, that is where you now begin to have advance payment bond, performance bond. So now, if you are giving the contract, the principal might want you to do a certain level of that contract. Let's assume the contract is 1 billion naira.
Yeah.
The principal might want to advance a certain token, 30%, 50% of that contract. That is the advance of that particular contract.
Yeah.
So that is when you are now supposed to meet or liaise with the insurance company to do that. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I feel like the performance bond. What does that entail?
Okay, that actually entails that you perform strictly to specification.
Yeah.
We said a performance bond work as a form of a protection for the project owner. That is the principal. So that the contractor who has been given a kind of project to work on must perform to specification of what he has been given and not in any way deviate from what the specification is.
Okay. But what?
Now let's take for example.
Okay. Yeah.
A kind of contractor. Let's take what is actually very popular in our economy. Let's assume that you're supposed to supply bags of rice. Or maybe let's use food, for example, jollof rice. The specification for you is to supply, you are deviating from the contract. But performing and supplying your jollof rice, you perform to specification in the stricto sensu. And that is it. That means you've done your contract according to specification. Then the same thing goes to let's say, for example, I didn't mean it's construction. You have BOQ, that's bill of quantity.
Yeah.
So the specification has been stated how you're supposed to perform the contract. So you should follow those rules to perform the contract. And that makes it the performance bond.
Okay. But what happens if the contractor defaults?
Then the insurance company comes to play.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the insurance company, the insurance company can actually stand for the principal or stand for the...
We're standing for the insured.
Only
that in
for
case the insured should... Yeah, we're standing if the insured should default in his obligation.
Yeah, the
insurance company is coming. Yes, then we reimburse the principal.
I see. Oh.
So we guarantee that the insured must perform. If the insured doesn't perform,
especially with the modern day Nigeria that we find ourselves in, defaulters will always exist.
Of course,
they will always exist.
You can't shy away from that.
We can't. But with your picking up this policy, you know that you have backbone. You have someone. Yeah, you have someone who's
backing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where
the comfort to the principal.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And that's where Anchor Insurance comes in. I'm just going to give you the opportunity, as one of the sponsors of our show, to just put your phone numbers out there, how they can find you on social media, because yes, what you are selling is something that is really, really viable. So just put that out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
So your phone number, where can they reach you and where can they find you on social media?
080
yeah
64 84
yeah
8035.
All right.
Or you can
time. Yeah.
080
yeah
64 84 8035.
Yeah.
Or on our social media platform.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok. On YouTube, we're at Anchor, we're at Insured by Anchor.
Yeah.
That's on YouTube.
Yeah.
On Facebook, we're on Insured by Anchor as well.
Okay. So just expect that our listeners will bombard you, explaining to us the insurance bond. Honestly, I am more educated about it, and I want to believe that I've been talking to today. I think he said Oladuyinu. He represents Anchor Insurance, and that segment was sponsored by Anchor Insurance. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the show.
Welcome to Nigeria's creative powerhouse, the National Council for Arts and Culture, NCAC. Here, we discover, nurture, and promote the creative economy through our diverse cultures, festivals, culinary offerings, dance, fashion, sculpture, and indigenous Afro music. And wait for this, NCAC produces Nigeria's biggest cultural festival, the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST. Our unique 600-plus indigenous tongues telling our history and traditions. INAC, our International Arts and Crafts Expo, brings the world to our doorsteps and holds annually in Abuja. Reach us through our social media handles on Instagram and X at NCAC_Nigeria, or visit us at Nigeria Culture House, 103 Abdulmumini Gadu District, Abuja. NCAC, proudly Nigeria.
It's still Creative Nigeria here on mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Up next right now is Creative Economy with Dr. Lizzie Ben Iheanacho.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to Culturati with Dr. Lizzie. Today, I'll be gisting you on a topic that I titled The Road Not Taken. 17 years after independence, Nigeria's federal military government formulated a national policy on education, which was later enshrined in the 1979 Constitution. Within this kernel lies Nigeria's national language policy. Now, this policy advocated, among other things, the use of local languages as medium of instruction for the first 3 years, and English language in the last 3 years. It further stated that each child is to learn one of the three major languages other than her mother tongue. The policy further encourages multilingualism. Now, imagine that the generation born between 1975 and 1977, when the policy was promulgated, were bilingual in two indigenous languages of Nigeria. Further, imagine that teachers and elders were engaged to narrate and translate folktales, chants, proverbs, anecdotes in those languages to serve as textbooks in schools and learning institutions. Further, imagine that there is a little girl in Isukwato in Abia State who can easily and readily access and narrate Hausa folktales. Albode in Ikweru is fluent in Igbo proverbs, eating yam dipped in the oil of our common patriotic pursuits. Let me also stretch your imagination further, and I want to task you to imagine that our elders are not daily joining their ancestors with the treasure trove of ancient wisdom locked down with them, but released to the bonds of unity forged by swapping tales. Are you getting the picture? Let's go further. Imagine that by being storytellers and critics, paid for their creative services, these elders did not have to die unsung and impoverished, but nurtured into longevity by a new generation that harmonized and vibes to the rhythm of ancient stories. Are you getting the importance of stories, of folktales, of anecdotes to our national unity? Are you getting the importance of untapped wealth that we daily lay to waste? Okay, let's keep imagining. Take a look at what Brain Jotter did to Pamaike Jara's Ogogongo, and look at what Davido is doing to Bright Chimezie and his new song now revived from being comatose. Now, you will begin to understand that tongues may differ, ages may vary, but creativity is the bridge to our continuing narratives as a nation. I therefore want to charge all of us as you go through your day. Ask yourself, the road not taken, can we not go back to that road? The road not taken has led us to a suppression of a vast wealth of indigenous creativity and wealth-building avenues open to the owners and the carriers of cultural knowledge. The road not taken beckons to each and every one of us to walk into untapped wealth that is readily available. It is one of the low-hanging fruits in the creative economy sector. Until next week, think about this, ponder about it, and do your bit. Bye for now.
At the very beginning of the show, I told you that there will be so much to learn and so much for you to be informed about. Dr. Lizzie just, taught us, how we bridge generations through our creativity, and that's so important. Thank you so much to Dr. Lizzie for that. We're moving on now to our Movies on Radio segment. This one is going to be another one.
Good morning, film lovers. You're tuned in to Movies on Radio, part of the Creative Nigeria show, where we bring you the latest and greatest from the African and global film scene. I am your host, Julie Moss, and today we are animating the airwaves, spotlighting festivals, and celebrating African storytelling like never before. Let's start with some big news from South Africa. The Durban Film Mart Institute is turning up the heat for the 2025 edition of the Durban Film Mart, happening from July the 18th to 21st. What is special this year? Animation is taking center stage. That's right, African animators will be in the spotlight with expert panels, masterclasses, and exciting partnerships. There is even a 3-city tour with the Cape Town International Animation Festival, making stops in Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg. And for those of you dreaming of building your own animation studio, listen up. Sessions like How Can Smaller Animation Studios Remain Sustainable will give you tools for creative and financial success. The lineup includes big names like Francis Y. Brown of Animox FYB Studios and Hamid Ibrahim of Kugali. Yes, the same Kugali co-producing with Disney. But that's not all, though. Gender inclusivity is also in focus with a powerful panel titled Expanding the Frame. In partnership with UNESCO and Triggerfish, voices like Nadia Darius and Kumbi Chitenderu will discuss how to amplify underrepresented perspectives in African animation. Honestly, if you're in the animation space, this is the year to be in Durban. Now, let's zoom across continents to a story that continues to resonate. The Nigerian feature film The Man Died, inspired by the prison notes of literary icon Wole Soyinka, is making waves across the globe. After thrilling audiences in New York and Chicago, it's now heading to Stuttgart, Germany, as a headline feature at the 2025 African Theatre Association Conference. Directed by Awam Ankpa, this film has racked up awards at AFRIF, Luxor, and even the AMVCA. And guess what? It's currently being reviewed by major global streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon, and others. So keep your eyes peeled, because this film is headed for homes around the world. Who knew a film born from Soyinka's prison memoirs would travel this far, touching lives and minds? Interesting. Now, closer to home, big news from the north. The Kaduna International Film Festival returns for its 8th edition this August 26th to 30th, and it's been officially endorsed by the NCAC, National Council for Arts and Culture. Themed Film for Social Change, Kaduna International Film Festival promises powerful screenings, workshops, exhibitions, and cultural showcases are all set to amplify voices from northern Nigeria and beyond. The Director General of NCAC, Obi Asika, praised the festival's Executive Director, Audu Kashim Israel, for using film as a tool for development and dialogue. And I have to say, Kaduna is becoming a major film hub to watch. So now, whether it's animation in Durban, global premieres from Nigeria, or cultural showcases in Kaduna, Africa's film scene is lit, alive, and on the move. Now, that's all for today's edition of Movies on Radio. I'm Julie Moss signing off with one reminder. Please support African storytelling because our stories matter. Remember, this segment is sponsored by the National Film and Video Censors Board. Now over to you, Bumi. Thank you very much.
I promised you, and she delivered. Africa is all about storytelling, and you can see that all over the world. People are paying attention to the African stories, and people are finding their roots, tracing their roots to the African soil. And that's something I'm actually very proud of. And I just wanted to reiterate what Julie said, because indeed that segment is sponsored by the Nigeria Films and Video Sense on Radio. Okay, we will move on because we still have quite a number of offerings for you on the show this morning, and we go straight into hospitality nuggets. This is one segment I always look forward to as well. So please sit tight and enjoy this. It's coming to you from Justin Alvat.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hospitality Nuggets with Justina Alvat on Creative Nigeria. In the global world of hospitality, one truth remains constant. Guests come from everywhere, and they bring their cultures with them. Whether it's a handshake, a head nod, a silent pause, or a warm smile, every gesture carries a different meaning depending on where your guest comes from. That's why in today's episode of Hospitality Nuggets, we're diving into a vital topic every hospitality professional should master: speak their language, effective communication across guest cultures. You may have the best check-in systems, luxurious rooms, and top-tier dining. But if your team cannot communicate with empathy and clarity, especially across cultures, it can all fall flat. Communication isn't just about the words we speak. It's about tone, gestures, silence, body language, and most importantly, empathy. When we misread these cues, we risk miscommunication. But when we make the effort to understand them, we create unforgettable guest experiences. Now, here are 5 ways to communicate effectively across guest cultures. Number 1, simplify language without sounding dismissive. Avoid technical or overly formal language. Instead of saying, "Unfortunately, your room has not yet been serviced due to operational backlogs," say, "We're so sorry your room isn't ready yet. We're working quickly and it should be done soon." Use clear, gentle, and positive phrasing. It makes a big difference. Number 2, pay attention to non-verbal cues. Not all cultures communicate with words. Some use expressions, tone, even silence. A guest may not speak much, but their furrowed brows may show confusion. A lack of eye contact may mean respect, not rudeness. Learn to read between the lines and always approach guests with warmth. Middle East guests may prefer warm or room temperature water. Some Asian guests may bow as a greeting. Be prepared to acknowledge it appropriately. In certain African cultures, hospitality is deeply rooted in respectful greetings and tone. A culturally aware team makes every guest feel valued and understood. Number 4, train teams to use empathy as a tool. Empathy isn't a feeling, it's a service strategy. Train your team to ask, how might this guest be feeling right now? Is there a cultural reason for their response? These perspectives helps reduce tension and make space for thoughtful, respectful responses. Number 5, always use the universal language of hospitality. When in doubt, a warm smile, kind eyes, and a calm voice will never fail. Hospitality is an art of making strangers feel at home, and that requires heart more than requires perfection. In hospitality, it's not enough to speak, you must connect. To connect, you must understand, and to understand, you must be willing to learn every day with every guest. Effective communication across culture isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's what turns a transactional moment into a meaningful memory. It's how hotels become havens, and it's how you, as a hospitality professional, become more than just staff. You become a bridge between worlds. So, speak the language, not perfectly, but thoughtfully, because when guests feel seen and respected, no matter where they're from, that's when true hospitality begins. Thanks for listening. Over to you, Frank and Bumi.
Many thanks, Justina, for that. And speaking of bringing our culture with us, I'm going to, let us wake up to the powers of culture, our indigenous culture, because our in-house poet, Adeshola Akewi, is here, and I'll just allow her in the next few minutes to give us, you, our darling listeners, and those of us in the studio, an indigenous cultural experience. Over to you, Adeshola Akewi.
Ẹ kú ojú pátápátá, gbogbo èèyàn lólùfẹ́ ètò wa. Mo ní ẹ kú ojúmọ́ o, ẹ kú ojúmọ́ ọmọ. Òní ìyàsàn wá sówó, òní ìyàsàn wá sọ́lá, òní ìyàsàn wá sáì tètè kú tí ń jọba lórí ọ̀rọ̀ wo. Ẹ̀rí mo tún ti débi ìṣe mi ò jàre. Apẹ̀sàrà má pè tàná mo tún ti dé. Ẹ̀rí bí n bá máa làwọn lọ́jọ́ tòní o. Wọ́n kọ́kọ́ rí bá Fọlọ́dúnmáre ọba ni. Torí bọ́mọdé bá máa làwọn ìgbé bàbá wọn ni wọ́n mú bọnu. Ajá tí ó bá kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ gbó. Ẹ̀rí bájá bá kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ gbó. Igbó àkọ́kọ́ arìnlẹ̀ amílẹ̀ títí wò jàre. Àgbò tó bá máa làwọn akán gbọ̀ngbọ̀n. Adéṣọlá máa làwọn lónìí yóò. Ìbà mi wá dọ̀wọ́ Olódùmarè ọba. Mọ̀rí eléwé alámọ̀ tó mọ́ mi olúwo ń wo ọba mi àwo ni mójúgún ọba tí ń fojú láwo ni. mo ṣe bá gbogbo títí ń gbà mí nílé lóko lẹ́yìn ìwòdì pátápátá. Ìbá gbogbo àwọn tó ti ń pèdè kí n tó máa pèdè o. Ìbá gbogbo kọrinkọrin. Mo ní mo ti ṣe wọn. Ìbá ò gbọ́dọ̀ ń mọ ènìyàn. Gbogbo ọmọ kóòtù òjíire pátápátá o. Mo tún ti débi ìṣe mi. Ó yẹ lọ wá nǹkan fìdílé. Kájọ máa gbàsà wọn bàbá tó gbé bí wá lárugẹ ni. Gbogbo ọmọdù tó ní ìwà. Ẹ rí ọ̀rọ̀ pàtàkì kọ́ máa mú wá lọ́jọ́ tòní o. Òpómúlérò kan pàtàkì lára àṣà Yorùbá tí ò gbọ́dọ̀ mérí ni mo ní kí n mú wá sórí ètò yìí lọ́jọ́ tòní o. Torí orúkọ a máa roni. Orúkọ a máa roni o. Orúkọ sì ni ìjánu ọmọ ojàre. Ẹ gbọ́ bí Yorùbá ti wí wọ́n pé ilé làwò ká tó sọmọ lórúkọ. Orúkọ máa gbàṣà àwa jáde. Orúkọ máa jẹ́ mọ́ bí létà ti wá. Ẹ rí orúkọ wọ̀nyí sì làwọn ọ̀dọ́ ò fẹ́ jẹ́ mọ́ lọ́jọ́ tòní o jàre. Babátúndé lòun ò túndé mọ́. Akínwùmí ní kó má ṣe forúkọ àtijọ́ pé òun ò jàre wọ́n pé ayé ti lajú. Ẹ rí wọ́n wá fẹ́ kórúkọ Yorùbá ó parẹ́ o. Kúta ọ̀nà àrà tí Yorùbá ń gbà sọmọ mo pọ́ ṣọ̀wọ́n ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ kílẹ̀ wo jàre. Yorùbá ò ní jẹ́ sọmọ lórúkọ kó má ní ohun tó fi rọ̀. Torí orúkọ máa gbàṣà wa. Orúkọ máa gbédìlé tá a ti wá. Orúkọ máa gbéṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ tá a bí wọn ń gangan o jàre. Ẹ rí orúkọ ọ̀hún ló wá mẹ́rin yìí o. Ọmọ kóòtù òjíire ẹ má ṣe jẹ́ àgbàgbé orúkọ táwọn baba ńlá wa gbé fún wa o jàre. Borúkọ bá ti bàjẹ́ ẹ rí ọ̀nà wo la wá fẹ́ fi gbàṣà wà lárugẹ gangan. Ẹ má ṣe jẹ́ ká forúkọ èdè mìíràn ká fi borúkọ wa mọ́lẹ̀ wo jàre. Ẹ rí èmi wá ṣe tán tí n ó fètò rọ àsìkò gbà mí n ò bá máa wídò nídọ̀ ọ̀la o jàre. Mo pé mo ti fẹ́ máa lọ àwa là máa wá ẹ̀yin là máa bá. Ikú ò ní pa wá o àrùn ò sí nígbẹ́ kankan nínú gbogbo wa dé.
Akewi is our in-house poet, and she is available, for you, the listener out there, to, you have that program that you want to promote, Nigerian culture, and you need her services. I'm just going to help her this morning to put her phone line out there so that F1 number
091 37 55 95 35.
One more time.
091 37.
Or who couldn't get that, the long and short of it is that we cannot jettison our culture. We can't jettison our traditions, and pretty much that sums up what Adeshola Akewi has done with her chant this morning, with her poetry this morning. I hope you enjoyed it, because that came from the heart of all of us here at Creative Nigeria. We'll take a break.
Do you know that travel is the world's biggest vocation? Do you also know that you can be guided to make it a lifestyle? At Seham's Travel Agency, we deliberately help you plan your travel itinerary for business, education, vacation, health tourism, and logistics. That's not all. At Seham's Travels, we provide opportunities for study abroad experience with visa assistance and other advisory services on foreign education requirements unparalleled anywhere.
Do you want premium travel experience? We are big on charter flights.
If you truly desire to enjoy your trip as a lifestyle, then call us or visit us at Seham's Travels, number 8, Gashua Close, Area 8, Garki, Abuja, or our Lagos area office at the Excellence Place, 30A Oladimeji Law Street, off Freedom Way, opposite Vest, Lekki Phase 1. Telephone
Lagos 08090803030 or Abuja 09080589150.
Social media handles info@sehamstravels.com or www.sehamstravels.com.
Seham's Travels, bridging horizons through travel.
May I welcome you back, and may I say a very big thank you for staying tuned to Mainland 98.3 FM and to Creative Nigeria, this show that is just getting better and better as we go along. Just before we go into the news of the day, I want to be a blessing to everybody that's out there who wants to go instead of going to Oyibo market today, let me go to Mile 12 market, or let me go to Daleko market. But these are the prices that are there at the moment. So in Oyibo Auto Market, a 50 kilogram bag of Oloyin beans is now 90,000 naira. It has come down from 9 naira. It's now 9,000 naira. So things are getting better, at least on that front. Foreign rice, 50 kilogram bag is about 85,000 naira. It was 90,000 naira. It's coming down. Local brands, you want to buy the whole 50 kilogram bag, it's 65,000 naira. It was 75,000 naira. That is also coming down. A bucket, I'm not going to go into the bags. I guess that's for the commercial, people that want to buy it at commercial grade. But a bucket, a pink bucket of yellow gari in Oyibo Auto Market is now 2,700 naira. It was 2,800 naira, so that's coming down as well. White gari, its equivalent is 2,700 naira as well. Let me go straight to Mile 12 Market, where a basket of onions is now selling for 115,000 naira. That was 140,000 naira. So, I mean, that's a marked difference from what it was last month. It's the same, actually, as in Oyibo Auto Market. So, let me look at something that we haven't talked about. Vegetable oil. Vegetable oil, a 20-liter keg is 85,000 naira. It remains the same it was last month. So, there's no change there. But there's a change with red oil. 20-liter keg is now 45,000 naira. It was a bucket of yellow gari and white gari is less. Yellow gari is less in Daleko market. It's 2,600, but white gari is more in this market because it's 2,800 naira. So you can go to the market with at least a bit of knowledge about what you are going in there to buy. Now, here is our culture, technology, festivals, travels, hospitality, music, movies, brown water economy, insurance news, and sports tourism with Sehem's Travels, edited by Frank Meke. Former President, Nigeria Association of Tour Operators (NATOP), Mrs. Iṅụ̀ has been appointed as Chairman, Akwa Ibom State Hotels and Tourism Board. Until her new appointment by Governor Umoino of Akwa Ibom State, the irrepressible, Iṅụ̀ was an honorary special advisor on culture and on tourism to the governor. A notable face in the Nigerian cultural tourism space, Udoh is the current financial secretary of the umbrella body of all registered tourism organizations in Nigeria. That's the Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria, FTAN. From all of us at Creative Nigeria, we pray that Mrs. Iṅụ̀ turns the tide of culture, hospitality, and tourism trade in Akwa Ibom State to positive trends during her tenure, and that she inspires the presence of more women in top cultural tourism positions across the country. Congratulations to her. Today, the Nigeria Association of Tour Operators kicks off its annual general meeting, AGM, and conference. Details of the event by association led by Mrs. Bolaji Mustafa. By the way, NATOP has produced two outstanding industry players in government. One, Mr. Nkwere President of FTAN and Honorary Senior Special Advisor to Akwa Ibom State Governor on Culture and Tourism. Onung is also the Chairman, Board of Trustees of NATOP, and also Member, Board of Trustees, Association of Tourism Practitioners of Nigeria, ATPN. Iṅụ̀ follows suit as another NATOP flag bearer in Government Tourism Service. Industry Trade Gist is full moon with the possibility of current NATOP President Mrs. Bolaji Mustafa positioned for key appointment in government. And in other news, with the panel of media and industry stakeholders to look at the trend and performance of those so far appointed to fly the flag of the sector. At Edem Duke, Alhaji Munzali Dantata and Nura Kangiwa Did they represent us? Shettima has called on the private sector to join hands with the government to execute the various trade reforms. Shettima spoke at the 4th edition of geared towards breathing life back to the struggling economy in order to empower a stable and economic sustainability. Though the Vice President admitted investors friendly business environment. And the Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria, FTAN, has announced Thursday, the 31st of July, for its elective annual general tourism policy implementation system, its promotion and governance threshold, particularly from the specs of industry plan. With over tourism is a trend that is sweet and beautiful to the ears of investors and trade owners, but is painful to tourism resource owners and communities. With the summer holidays deep in the height of its period, the heat waves propelled by climate change has seen visitors increase overstretching infrastructures and tourist facilities across major European countries such as Greece, Italy, and Spain, with authorities in those places begging local communities and residents to avoid any tourism disaster and confrontation with visitors. The placard-carrying residents and locals where these sites are located are praying in carrying capacity, all these places are bogged down by overcrowding. In Spain, Barcelona, Balearic, and the Canary Islands, tens of thousands of tourists are threatening the peace of the locals, who have vowed to chase them out of their vicinities due to environmental and social concerns. Well, on the show this morning, because our time is fast spent, however, we will leave you in the able hands of the musician Bongo. No, the song is Bongo Ayakata by it's our ode this morning to the Igbo culture and tradition. Well, from all of us in the studio this morning, we want to say we will see you same time next week, and until then, please keep listening.